This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Meredith Hughes, Cambridge, Massachusetts. The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. Chapter 3, Part 2. He put his hands to his mouth and shouted down the ravine. It was almost like shouting down a tunnel, and the echoes jumped from rock to rock. After a long time, there came back the drawling, sleepy snarl of a full-fed tiger just wakened. "Who calls?" said Shere Khan, and a splendid peacock fluttered up out of the ravine, screeching. "I, Mowgli! Cattle thief, it is time to come to the Council Rock. Down, hurry them down, Akela! Down, Rama, down!" The herd paused for an instant at the edge of the slope, but Akela gave tongue in the full hunting yell, and they pitched over one after the other just as steamers shoot rapids, the sand and stones spurting up round them. Once started, there was no chance of stopping, and before they were fairly in the bed of the ravine, Rama winded Shere Khan and bellowed. "Ha ha!" said Mowgli on his back. "Now thou knowest!" And the torrent of black horns, foaming muzzles, and staring eyes whirled down the ravine, just as boulders go down in flood time, the weaker buffaloes being shouldered out to the sides of the ravine where they tore through the creepers. They knew what the business was before them, the terrible charge of the buffalo herd against which no tiger can hope to stand.
Section 31 of the History of
Shere Khan heard the thunder of their hoofs, picked himself up, and lumbered down the ravine, looking from side to side for some way of escape. But the walls of the ravine were straight, and he had to hold on, heavy with his dinner and his drink, willing to do anything rather than fight.
I have used all the tricks that I have heard of, which are not a few, or good advice to save my fish,
bellowing until the narrow
and yet,
cut
in 10 years'
rang.
time, I have lost 3,000 or 4,000
Mowgli
carcasses,
heard an
and yet I
answering
have found ways
bellow
to save the
from the
life of
foot
many
of
of
the
their crops,
ravine.
when my neighbors have lost
Saw
crops,
Shere Khan
which I shall declare as my own
turn.
experience,
The
and
tiger
made me
knew that
probable
if the
on long
worst
occasions,
came to the
any that
worst,
will use
it was
them.
better to meet
First
the
is to the sorts of
bulls
fish
with
that
the
suffer
cows
most. I can
with
only
the
say that the
calves.
tent, if any, is frost-proof,
And then
will
Rama
shift in
tripped,
extremity. But if the
stumbled,
frost be intense
and went on
the other
again
sorts,
over
as carp,
something
eels,
soft,
pike, perch, and roach,
and
will
with the
go
bulls
near
at
to
his
perish.
heels,
And I have found out
crashed
any
full
great
into the other
When one
herd,
fish complains,
while the
they are all
weaker
in imminent
buffaloes
danger.
were lifted
The waters
clean
most of
off
noxious
their
to frost
feet by the
are
shock
such as
of the
standing,
needle.
shallow or small. For if there be either water
That
current or fresh
charge
spring,
carried
no fish
both
dies from
herds
frost.
out into
If in
the
hard weather
plain,
succeeds a very dry
goring
summer, the
and
fish suffers
stamping
most.
and
If the
snorting.
ponds are large and deep, such as I have directed to be made
Mowgli
upon channel
watched his
water,
tide,
which may not run,
and
but
slipped
upon
off
floods or
Rama's
rain,
neck,
the fish will never die
laying
in
about
frost
him
there.
right and
Thus
left
this water
with
she
a
must look upon
stick.
as the asylum for the securing the
"Quick,
fish in the
Akela!
swimming.
Break
And all
them
that you
up!
can put in there alive
Scatter
will
them,
through a
or they
hole
will
in the
be
ice
fighting
will
one
secure the
another!
fish. If the bank of the
Drive
pond
them
slows,
away,
it will
Akela!
preserve the fish in
Hi,
frost.
Rama!
The reason, as I
Hi,
imagine, is because
hi,
where the
hi,
water
my
slows down,
children!
the air will bubble in.
Softly
It
now,
produces the fish.
softly!
Or perhaps it might put
It is
the
all
water
over.
into some degree of motion. If so, the stirring water with a board flat upon a
Akela
pole
and
will
Grey
hold the ice.
Brother
Might be
ran
good.
to and fro,
This is
nipping the
conjecture.
buffalo's legs.
The symptom of mortality to
And
your
though
fish
the
in time of
herd
frost
wheeled
is
once
their
to
showing
charge up
themselves,
the
which if
ravine
you perceive
again,
in the least conclude
Mowgli
all are gone.
managed to
And
turn
without a thaw,
Rama,
that water will not
and
keep
the
them
others
long. For
followed
it is the
him
nature
to
of
the
fish in cold weather
wallows.
to lie as close and deep as they can, so that
Shere
nothing but the pangs of
Khan
death shall make them
needed
move.
no more
If no
trampling.
holes or rope, they will rise and stick to the
He
ice
was
and be
dead.
frozen to it. If there be
And the
holes, they
kites
will
were
move about them
coming
as if
for
they
him
came up for
already.
fresh air. When the frost hath continued long and hard, that you begin to suspect your fish,
"Brothers,
you may take a trial by
that
cutting
was a
holes in several
dog's
places,
death,"
some in the
said
middle
Mowgli,
and some by the sides of the
feeling
waters
for
that
the
are
knife
notches.
he always
That is,
carried
after
in a
about 10
sheath
days
round
freezing.
his neck,
And by the
now that
appearing
he
of the
lived
fish
with
or
men.
land, you shall discover the temper and condition
But
they
he
are
would
in.
never have
Therefore
shown
watch them
fight.
diligently. If they are not well,
Voila!
they will appear.
His hide
Then
will
prepare
look
all
well
hands
on
to
the
take out every
Council
fish,
Rock.
as near as you can.
We must
But what
get
you
to
take out
work
you may preserve,
swiftly.
and all that are left behind are probably lost.
A boy trained
Many used to
among
break holes to
men would
relieve the
never
fish,
have
and
dreamed
as they
of
think, give
skinning
them
a
fresh air.
10-foot
Some
tiger
have put them bound
alone.
up together into the holes,
But
as if the
Mowgli
warmth
knew
of that
better
keeping
than
the hole
anyone
open will
else
preserve the
how
fish.
an animal's
But these
skin
ways
is
and all others
fitted
that I have
on,
heard of,
and
except
how
taking
it
out
can
the
be
fish,
taken
are
off.
mere vanities. I have got many holes and large ones,
But it was
which I
hard
to take
work,
out the ice
and
and keep them
Mowgli
open,
slashed
but to no
and tore
advantage.
and
One
grunted
thing
for
appeared
an
very
hour,
obvious to me when I took
while
that
the
course.
wolves
Many of
lolled
the
out
fish
their
in a large boat
tongues,
gathered together
or
in a
came
corner,
forward and
averted to
tugged
the
as he
south,
ordered
where the
them.
ground rose under an high bank, to a shoal water.
Presently, a
These fish by
hand
their motion
fell on
and
his
heat,
shoulder,
together with the sun's heat
and
that was
looking
strongest there,
up, he
kept the
saw
water from freezing,
Buldeo
and I could plainly
with
see
the
every fish
tower
great and small.
musket.
There were carp, pike,
The
perch,
children
eels,
had
and
told
fry
the
in the
village about the
collected as
buffalo
if it had been a
stampede,
general council
and
of all the
Buldeo
fish,
went out
and to consider
angrily,
what was to be done in that
only
respect.
too anxious
Very
to
difficult
correct
to observe.
Mowgli for not
But to
taking
leave
better
conceits and
care
come
of
to
the
the only
herd.
expedient which I have found effectual to
The
save the fish
wolves
in this
dropped
case,
out of sight
and that is
as
to
soon
set
as
great
they
tubs
saw
or
the
vats
man coming.
full of water in some outhouse, not far from a fire.
"What
And as
is
fast as the
this
fish appear,
folly?"
take them out and put
said
them there,
Buldeo
and from thence you may
angrily.
convey them in a basket to your
"To
great waters,
think that
where you may make them
thou
bowl about 8
canst
feet deep,
skin a
and putting the fish
tiger.
in, preserve them.
Where
Or
did
if you
the
please, you may
buffaloes
keep them
kill
there,
him?
freshening the water every 12 hours
It is
until
the
the frost
lame
breaks, and
tiger,
put them into their own
too,
houses again.
and there is
You may
100
plainly
rupees
perceive how
on
the
his
fish,
head.
though stunned and numb with the frost,
Well,
coming into the fat,
we will
by degrees
overlook
recover
thy
and be
letting
perfectly
the
well
herd
again,
run off,
and thus you may keep
and
them by
perhaps
thee
I
for
will
longer
give
if the
thee
frost
one
continues.
of the rupees
I
of
have
the
gone far.
reward when I
Sometimes
have
fish have
taken the
been, to all
skin
appearance,
to
dead. Others
Kanahiwara.
frozen and enveloped in ice. Yet by this
He
method I have
fumbled in his
preserved for
waistcloth
heating
for
water and
flint
putting it
and
into the
steel,
vat until I
and
brought the water
stooped
there
down
during
to
midsummer
singe
heat.
Shere
And then I have
Khan's
put some
whiskers.
with their shell of ice upon them.
Most
In
native
6 or 7
hunters
hours the ice
always
was gone,
singe a
and the fish
tiger's
alive and well,
whiskers to
and
prevent
so I
his
have delivered
ghost
them to
from
my great
haunting
waters,
them.
brisk as any. This may seem strange, but it is most
said
true.
Mowgli,
And to be a test
half
is
to
mean work.
himself as he
Therefore,
ripped
in
back
Frost,
the skin
use
of a
this and no other
forepaw.
means, for all else will prove but to labor
So
in vain.
thou
The
wilt
small
take
waters
the
where it is the
hide to
greatest danger of frost,
Kanahuara for
observe
the
never to put them in
reward,
stock,
and
at the last week
perhaps
of
give
February
me
or beginning of
one
March,
rupee.
for then they take less
Now,
weight in
it
removing
is in
them,
my
and they may be
mind
taken out
that
in a
I
full
need
quarter,
the skin for
and so
my
all
own
hazard of frost
use.
prevented. And if you venture them there one
Old
winter,
man,
be sure
take
never let
away
them
that
run
fire.
hazard of another. So you have 2 summers' feed, which will raise a cart from
What
store to
talk
the
is
table,
this?
and venture
The
but one
chief
winter's frost.
hunter of the
And in winter they
village?
neither feed nor grow,
Thy
anything
luck
considerable.
and the stupidity of thy
In this section,
buffaloes have
31.
helped thee to this kill. The tiger has just fed, or he would have gone 20 miles by this time. Thou canst not even skin him properly, little beggar brat, and forsooth I, Buldeo, must be told not to singe his whiskers? Mowgli, I will not give thee 1 anna of the reward, but only a very big beating. Leave the carcass. By the bull that bought me, said Mowgli, who was trying to get at the shoulder, must I stay babbling to an old ape all noon? Here, Akela, this man plagues me. Buldeo, who was still stooping over Shere Khan's head, found himself sprawling on the grass, with a grey wolf standing over him, while Mowgli went on skinning as though he were alone in all India. Yes, he said between his teeth, thou art altogether right, Buldeo. Thou wilt never give me 1 anna of the reward. There is an old war between this lame tiger and myself, a very old war, and I have won. To do Buldeo justice, if he had been 10 years younger, he would have taken his chance with Akela had he met the wolf in the woods. But a wolf who obeyed the orders of this boy, who had private wars with man-eating tigers, was not a common animal. It was sorcery, magic of the worst kind, thought Buldeo, and he wondered whether the amulet round his neck would protect him. He lay as still, expecting every minute to see Mowgli turn into a tiger too. Maharaj! Great King! He said at last, in a husky whisper. Yes, said Mowgli, without turning his head, chuckling a little. I am an old man. I did not know thou wast anything more than a herdsboy. May I rise up and go away, or will thy servant tear me to pieces? Go, and peace go with thee. Only, another time, do not meddle with my game. Let him go, Akela. Buldeo hobbled away to the village as fast as he could, looking back over his shoulder in case Mowgli should change into something terrible. When he got to the village, he told a tale of magic and enchantment and sorcery that made the priest look very grave. Mowgli went on with his work, but it was nearly twilight before he and the wolves had drawn the great gay skin clear of the body. Now we must hide this and take the buffaloes home. Help me to herd them, Akela. The herd rounded up in the misty twilight, and when they got near the village, Mowgli saw lights and heard the conches and bells in the temple blowing and banging. Half the village seemed to be waiting for him by the gate. That is because I have killed Shere Khan, he said to himself. But a shower of stones whistled about his ears, and the villagers shouted, Sorcerer! Wolf's brat! Jungle demon! Go away! Get hence quickly, or the priest will turn thee into a wolf again! Shoot, Buldeo, shoot! The old tower musket went off with a bang, and a young buffalo bellowed in pain. More sorcery! Shouted the villagers. He can turn bullets! Buldeo, that was thy buffalo! Now what is this? Said Mowgli, bewildered as the stones flew thicker. They are not unlike the pack, these brothers of thine, said Akela, sitting down composedly. It is in my head that if bullets mean anything, they would cast thee out. Wolf! Wolf's cub! Go away! Shouted the priest, waving a sprig of the sacred tulsi plant. Again? Last time it was because I was a man. This time it is because I am a wolf. Let us go, Akela. A woman, it was Messua, ran across to the herd and cried, Oh, my son! My son! They say thou art a sorcerer who can turn himself into a beast at will. I do not believe, but go away, or they will kill thee. Buldeo says thou art a wizard, but I know thou hast avenged Nathu's death. Come back, Messua! Shouted the crowd. Come back, or we will stone thee! Mowgli laughed a little, short, ugly laugh, for a stone had hit him in the mouth. Run back, Messua. This is one of the foolish tales that they tell under the big tree at dusk. I have at least paid for thy son's life. Farewell, and run quickly, for I shall send the herd in more swiftly than their brickbats. I am no wizard, monsieur. Farewell! Now, once more, Akela, he cried, bring the herd in. The buffaloes were anxious enough to get to the village. They hardly needed Akela's yell, but charged through the gate like a whirlwind, scattering the crowd right and left. Keep count, shouted Mowgli scornfully. It may be that I have stolen one of them. Keep count, for I will do your herding no more. Fare you well, children of men, and thank Messua that I do not come in with my wolves and hunt you up and down your street. He turned on his heel and walked away with the lone wolf. And as he looked up at the stars, he felt happy. No more sleeping in traps for me, Akela. Let us get Shere Khan's skin and go away. No, we will not hurt the village, for Messua was kind to me. When the moon rose over the plain, making it look all milky, the horrified villagers saw Mowgli, with 2 wolves at his heels and a bundle on his head, trotting across at the steady wolf's trot that eats up the long miles like fire. Then they banged the temple's bells and blew the conches louder than ever. And Messua cried, and Buldeo embroidered the story of his adventures in the jungle, till he ended by saying that Akela stood up on his hind legs and talked like a man. The moon was just going down when Mowgli and the 2 wolves came to the hill of the Council Rock, and they stopped at Mother Wolf's cave. They have cast me out from the Man Pack, Mother, shouted Mowgli, but I come with the hide of Shere Khan to keep my word. Mother Wolf walked stiffly from the cave with the cubs behind her, and her eyes glowed as she saw the skin. I told him on that day, when he crammed his head and shoulders into this cave hunting for thy life, little frog. I told him that the hunter would be the hunted. It is well done. Little brother, it is well done, said a deep voice in the thicket. We were lonely in the jungle without thee. And Bagheera came running to Mowgli's bare feet. They clambered up the Council Rock together, and Mowgli spread the skin out on the flat stone where Akela